Will Jon Moxley be defending the AEW Championship in a triple threat match at World's End? Well, after last night's episode of Dynamite, I'm beginning to think that could be the case. Welcome to Allison Analysis. I'm Ben Allison, and I've analysed last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, and here are my 5 key findings. In at number 5, AEW's Continental Classic Tournament is back, and I've missed it. It's AEW's once-a-year opportunity where they can just put on banger matches with their great roster for no reason other than it being a tournament match. And last year's tournament was an absolute banger. It featured multiple great matches, but this year's lineup I actually think is even better. And while this tournament is of course going to be good for Dynamite because we're going to see great matches each and every week, and people are going to tune in each and every week for the next few weeks to make sure they keep up with the results, I actually think this is even better for AEW Collision because for once people have a reason to actually watch it. I mean, this week's episode alone has Okada versus Garcia, Mortos versus Carl Fletcher, and Juice Robinson versus Will Ospreay. I mean, for the first time in months, I'm going to go out of my way to make sure I check out Collision this week, and Survivor Series is on the same day. I mean, if we're going to be brutally honest, it's the one time a year Collision feels important, but that is the beauty of this tournament, and I'm really looking forward to it. In at number 4, could MJF finally lose the Dynamite Diamond Ring next week? We've seen this Battle Royale now every year for 5 years, and every year MJF has found a way to retain the ring. But will this year be different? Well, if I'm being honest, I hope so. To me, the solution is simple. Have Cole win the Battle Royale. Then MJF has a reason to want to face Adam Cole. He could say, hey, I'll face you as long as you put that ring on the line. Adam Cole does. They face off at World's End, and we get one step closer to this feud ending. Because it's just getting more confusing by the week, isn't it? Kyle O'Reilly's been getting involved now as well. Roderick Strong was involved before the pay-per-view. I mean, I'm just sick of it. And for the longest time, I loved this feud. I really, really did. But there's been too many heel turns, face turns. It's just all gotten way too confusing. Can we just please end it? World's End is the perfect time. A year on from the turn. Have that happen and then have both men move on. In at number 3, Camille turning on Monet felt so anticlimactic. If they really wanted this to be the moment that Camille became a star, well, Camille should have just knocked out Monet or something, showed her strength, put her through the stage, I don't know, just something better than walking off. And I have no idea if her arm injury is legitimate or not. If it is legit, then maybe that's why she couldn't get physical. That would make a lot of sense. But if that was the case, then I just would have postponed this turn for a little bit longer. I mean, the good news was that the crowd did get behind Camille when she walked off. They were cheering for her, so that is a good sign. But I'm just really hoping Camille really gets an opportunity now to show the AEW faithful what she's really about, because she's not really been able to do too much since coming into AEW so far. And I've watched her for years in the NWA, and honestly, she is fantastic. I will stand by that opinion, despite the fact she's had a rough few matches in AEW so far. But if you put her as a monster heel against a smaller babyface, she is one of the best in the business in that role. And sure, right now she's a babyface, but if you establish her against Monet, get a few wins, and then maybe fans start to turn on her, then you can turn her heel, and there we are, she's in the monster heel position. But she's got a lot of talent, she's got a great look, so I really hope she can get over. And while I did have some hope for this Mercedes Moné Camille storyline, it has been questionable so far to say the least. In at number 2, Chris Jericho versus Ishii was a bizarre but great match. I can't remember the last time in North America that I just saw for 4 minutes 2 wrestlers just slap each other in the face, but last night in this match we saw it. I mean, you'd be forgiven for turning this on and presuming it was Dana White's power slap, because these guys were just bleeding in the face, slap after slap for 4 minutes. And what really did surprise me was by the end of it, fans were actually turning on it slightly. Like, they started to boo like they do in the UFC when, fighters aren't really fighting each other and they're just moving around or they're on the floor for a bit too long. It was really bizarre. I was just thinking to myself, come on, just enjoy this, guys. They're just slapping the hell out of each other. But they did then turn it into a normal match, and it did get very enjoyable. I mean, honestly, and I'm shocked I'm saying this, since moving on from the Hook storyline, Jericho has been putting on better matches than he has done since the early days of the pandemic. He's looked fantastic. And I still do think him being the Ring of Honor champion is a mistake, but so far his reign has been fun. Before we get on to number 1, if you guys could like and subscribe, that would be massively appreciated. Here at Wrestling Republic, we create between 5 to 10 free videos every single week, and in addition to that, we also do a live stream every single day at 8 PM UK, 3 PM Eastern, 12 PM Pacific. Plus, tomorrow it's Black Friday, and Anthony and Clark are doing a Sold Separately special, telling you guys the best deals in professional wrestling on Black Friday. So make sure you guys hit like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see that video tomorrow as soon as it comes out. And in at number 1, will Jon Moxley be defending the AEW Championship against both Hangman Page and Jay White at World's End? As that was certainly what they teased on last night's episode of Dynamite. I mean, Jay White right now is the most over he's been in AEW. He's got 2 key victories over Hangman Page in recent weeks, so it makes perfect sense for him to get a World Championship opportunity. But in the case of Hangman Adam Page, what's he done? I mean, of course, at AEW All Out, he won that major feud against Swerve Strickland. So if this was happening then, well, that would make sense. But since then, he's lost to Jay White not once, but twice. So sure, if it was 1-1 between the two, it would make sense. But it's not. It's 2-0. I mean, Jay White should be getting this title opportunity, not Hangman Adam Page. But after last night's Dynamite, it really does seem that's the direction they're heading in. And the fact that Hangman Page is taking on Wheeler Yuta this week on Collision, well, that makes it even more clear to me. And the idea of a triple threat match between these 3 guys really does excite me. It does. And I think on a card which is going to have quite a few singles matches because of the Continental Classic, like World's End, a triple threat match makes a lot of sense. But you've also got to make it make sense from a kayfabe perspective, and right now it just doesn't. But overall, I really did enjoy last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. It's great to have the Continental Classic back. It kicked off with a bang, and everything made a lot of sense. Again, like I say every single week, the women's division should have had more time. But hey, outside of that, I thought it was a really good show. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'll be looking at them and replying to them for sure. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!